Hey viewers, Alan Yagjian here, certified professional ergonomist, and today I want to talk about trackball mice. Today I have one sample. It's the Logitech Trackman. I'm not promoting this or anything, but I just have this sample with me today. I also have the Master MX by Logitech MX3, and we'll go over the types of trackball mice that I do recommend and some that I don't. And so let's go ahead and start. So this particular trackball mouse is ambidextrous. You could use it with your right or left hand, right side of the keyboard or left side of the keyboard. The cool thing about trackball mice is that you could put it on a slant like a keyboard tray to encourage maybe a particular posture of the wrist, especially a neutral posture. That's what you're looking for. And the other thing about it is it's up to you how you use it and how you position your wrist when using it, because all the action is pretty much performed here at your fingertips, and the back of your wrist really defines it as okay or not okay, because you're looking for a straight wrist here, primarily flat on the top and not too much contact pressure on the bottom of your wrist. So you're looking for something that encourages sort of this movement. You're looking for translational movement, so that encourages movement of all the joints of your arms, not just planting and pivoting and overuse of that wrist there. So being able to relax your hand on a mouse such as like this, you have to kind of find a good position for your palm to relax on, or you just kind of float your wrist. That's the idea there. And this can work with both hands. And the other cool thing about it is sort of like how this mouse is kind of angled because it's a right-handed mouse, which loosens up the tissues of your forearm and wrist because reduces pronation right there. So that's kind of cool. This one you can kind of do the same thing, you know. So whether you're right or left-handed, you can rest your hand in this more safe area rather than over here and use your trackpad like that. Now you want to just find a trackpad that fits you both in terms, it fits your fingers. Basically, you don't want them spread apart or kind of crunched in, and that would, you'll feel that because you'll feel activation in and around your palm area if you're kind of scrunched in over time, and a lot of people will feel it at their thumb or here, and so things are a little too scrunched up. So they have mice of various sizes, and you might want to pick one that basically feel pretty natural like that on the mouse. Particular mouse is a sound choice because it doesn't isolate any movement to your thumb. And I see a lot of thumb-operated trackball mice, which I don't recommend, because all day long you use your thumb to grab things, to text, to turn things. It's your opposable finger, and especially most people will use the mouse with their dominant hand. So imagine how much load that is, that extra load, if you're going to use that thumb only to operate the mouse, 8 hours a day. Some people working 10 hours a day or something. So, or even, you have to think of everything, like the controller of a joystick. All these accumulate to a load or risk factor for injury in your thumb. So you don't want to isolate movement to your thumb in general. It's your most important digit. All in all, just summarize, you don't want to pick a mouse that isolates movement to one digit. Ambidextrous, symmetrical type of vertical mice. Some allow a little bit more pronation, so being able to relax your hand kind of sort of to the side a little bit, more in a handshake position are great, like this Trackman. And also ones that will encourage you to kind of use your whole arm there. So there's another thing I wanted to mention about trackball mice versus a standard mouse, and that is for a standard mouse, you can more or less, if it's the right size, you can relax your hand on the device. So that really helps individuals use their shoulder more and their elbow more, which is the proper way you want to be using the mouse. And so what ends up happening is you don't get that overuse of the wrist and planting. So some people do, however, they do use it like this, and some people use it like this. So those are two other ways. This is worse than this, but putting your hand on the mouse is also good. Now, as far as using the trackpad goes, you're gonna want to just have sort of the same idea there. You could be the type of person that has your wrist above the work surface and kind of moving it, but you're not going to have anything to relax it on. So that's the primary reason that I usually don't recommend trackball mice over a standard mouse, as long as the standard mouse is properly fitted. Most people like to plant and pivot just to get those fine-tuned movements to get that cursor exactly where they need it. And that happens again with the trackball mouse as well. People plant so that they could get that stability in their hand, so that they can get that cursor exactly where they need it. And that might end up just planting their hand and keeping it in that improper position, rather than going back to kind of like, for the more general non-precise movements, going back and raising their wrist up again and kind of doing that. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have any other questions about trackball mice and any ideas for videos.